Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Blessings to all of you. So, in the process of awakening, we have as the first stage a thing that we call in Sufism involution. And involution means basically the process of memory, of remembering where we come from and where we will return. Yeah. So, we said it many times that we are, most of us, soul-wise located in the fourth dimension. And it makes sense insofar because what would be the purpose of a person that is already much, much higher, yeah, so far away from the third dimension that we live, and let's say they are from the 10th dimension or even higher. What would be the purpose of a person to come here? There is not really a logic in it. So most of people come, in fact, from the fourth. We can say it is 99.99%, and a few ones may come from other places, and they are in service to humanity. They come as high souls already, but they have not really a purpose of experiences anymore in this world. No? So in the beginning, the soul has been also unconscious because the divine in itself is in its consciousness unconscious about its consciousness, because it had no mirror, it had no opposite to see. And in this way, the consciousness was in bliss. It is always in bliss. But for whatever reason, it's called lahar, yeah, in Sufism. That means an idea that came out of no reason. Yeah, there's not a need, there is not a desire, there is no kind of initiated reason. Yeah, it is lahar. It is unknown why the divine wanted to create the universes and so on. But by doing so, it created a mirror. It created thousands and myriads of mirrors, right? And in the process of our soul, that it comes as an unconscious soul in the first time, when it incarnates in the world, it has all these gross experiences that are the opposite of what it comes from, where it comes from. No? And because these experiences are very gross, are very harsh, yeah, it has this desire to always find an equilibrium, a kind of compensation, a kind of balance. And this is the process of awakening. It is all about the balance, how much we can live with the shadow self and how much we can live with the harsh world. And on the other side, the dimension where there is no difficulty at all, yeah, where there is no opposite. And this is the process that when the soul is finished with all these experiences that can be here experienced, and you can imagine this is a lot of experiences, so that's why the journey is not short for nobody. Finally, you come to this 0 point, no, which would be the ideal equilibrium, the ideal position. Yeah, you are not in the plus, you're not in the minus, you are in the perfect middle. And from that point starts the evolution. But it is not an evolution in the form, yeah, because our form doesn't really evolve. It is more the evolution in our soul, right? And some people say this is actually the beginning of the spiritual journey. Before there is, in the time of involution, is just the trial and the effort of balance. No? And if you watch yourself, if you observe yourself carefully, you will always see that there is an inner force on us, yeah, that wants to pull us to something or to push us to something, right? It is not that we are by default in this equilibrium, no? And it is reflected, of course, in the worldly happenings that are on some spaces. The people spend their holidays, and some other spaces they are fighting for their lives. And this kind of paradox situation on one planet, yeah, is all the time trying to find a middle, right? And as long as we do not find that, as long we will have this situation reflected, it cannot be different. Yeah. From time to time, when we go to extremes, and we can say at the moment we are in extremes in speaking the world of richness, the world of unsocial injustice, the world of overpopulation, the world of intoxication of this planet. When there is such a situation, it calls again for balance. That means it needs a kind of rebalancing, and that can end up in a global war, that can end up in weather catastrophes, earthquakes, viruses, sicknesses, and so on. This is the play, no? So when someone wants to be just a good person, that means he wants to blind himself or herself about all the shadow parts in themselves, then it will walk the way of suffering. No, that is how you actually give yourself more sufferings. No, because you cannot fight this wish of balance that the whole world has, that the whole creation has. So we need to walk that path, all of us, between the shadow aspects in ourselves and the fine ones. So denying the shadow aspects is useless. You will be thrown more and more onto it. And this is the suffering of the religious world. This is why you see effects that you find the heaviest pedophile rings, movements in something that should be sacred and should be taken care of the weakest ones, right? And it is because of this oppression. So when we oppress something, be it in an organization, be it in a nation, be it in an institution, whatever it is, if that has only on their flag, we are for the good and we are for the righteous, you can count to 5, you will see also the opposite there, right? And those who are the mystics of their religions, of their spiritual path, they know that. Yeah? And this is why they are not in this area where it is about forbidden and allowed, but they go kind of beyond of it, which does not mean we ignore that. Yeah, it has to be fulfilled, it has to be seen, but we fulfill it with consciousness. And this is the basic difference between a person that just follows a law blindly and looks very pious from outside, but it is a question of time that things are cooking up in such personalities. And then it is always a shock, because these things will erupt like a volcano, yeah, in someone. Therefore, the earlier you start with looking to yourself and understand that every attribute in your characteristic, in your personality, every virtue that you attach it to yourself has its opposite in you as well. No? Knowing all that, seeing that, observing that will give you this opportunity to involute, to finish the journey of involution as quick as possible, and then start to the magic part of your life where you will go into unknown areas and in the most adventurous of what cannot even be described because it is the unknown and it cannot be really talked. No? So I hope it is clear what we mean with involution and evolution, and encourages you not to be desperate of your shadow self and not to be stuck also in the shadow self, right? We're not stuck anywhere, not here, not there. Thank you so much, and blessings to all of you, to your families, and may the divine protect us from the craziness of these times and gives you strength and clarity for everything. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.